This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another episode of An Anthropologist Watches Stuff on YouTube. And we're going to finish up Anna Alonzo's first video in her new series, which is 4 months old at this point, which is June... what day did I say it was earlier? June the 12th. So this is Influencer Insanity, the unhinged consumerism of restock influencers. So unrealistic. We're 26 minutes into the video already, and I needed to stop because I had a lot to say. Hannah has a lot to say. These are really good videos. I like this kind of content because this is very much looking at the culture of the internet and the material culture of the internet. We're definitely talking about influencers, which are a huge part of the internet. So I just like this kind of content as an anthropologist, and also there's a little bit of archaeology going on here, so I kind of like that. We've already touched on a couple principles of dark anthropology, which also makes me happy. So we're just going to keep going with this one. Again, as I said in the end of the last video, let me know what you guys think about me doing this style of content. If you guys like it, we'll continue to do the rest of the series. I don't want to like flood my channel with this stuff if you guys aren't into it though. So, because I can watch this on my own, but I like watching it with all of you as well. And some of you did ask for Hannah Alonzo, so some of you are at fault for this. You know who you are. Anyway, as I said, we are 26 minutes into this. She is sped up. I just talk a lot, but you know what? Let's wrap this up. And I do want to see the rest of this, so.
Yet. This next creator takes it to a whole new level of overconsumption. This video moves fast, so really pay attention to all these gadgets and gizmos of plenty that she's showing us. The video is called Pack My Purse and Stuff My Cash Envelope With Me.
I remember this one from the first time I watched it. There are a lot of really cool gizmos, but this one, I have to agree with Hannah on this one. This one is pointless. This one has a lot of pointless objects in it. They are not necessarily needed to be a functional adult, I suppose. So yes, this upcoming video is a really good example of overconsumption and consumerism in action. And if you take into account that this person is advertising all of these items as well, it does really drive home the consumerism influence of social media influencers. I mean, look at these drawers to begin with. These are brand new products. And a lot of single serve products as well. Is that supposed to be toilet paper? Where are you going that you need all of this stuff? I would pack like this if I were hiking. I don't know if I would bring half of these products, but like I would pack painkillers and, you know, cleaning agents and all of this kind of stuff if I was going to go hiking for more than a day. But where are you going? Going to the store. I don't think you need all this stuff. I'm just saying, like, what are you doing? And there's wet wipes. So you have hand soap, wet wipes, hand sanitizer, and nappy towels. How dirty are you planning on getting? What are you doing? I guess if you're an envelope stuffer or a cash stuffer, that might have been a really cool doodad. But there's just a lot of things that she's showing. They're cool. Like that thing with the towel that she put the little towel in and then wetted it out and then she could use it to wipe her hands with. That's cool. I know people are really into those soap slivers where it just turns into soap for you. A lot of this stuff is neat. It's a neat trick. It's cool. It's not necessary. It's just weird, some of it. And that's kind of where I was going with this stuff. Like, hi, baby girl. We have a different cat for this video. But that's kind of where I was going earlier. Like, you don't need this stuff. All right, maybe you need pills, I suppose. Like, a lot of people take medication or they like to carry around painkillers with them for the on the off chance they get, I don't know, a migraine, a owie, a boo-boo, what have you. What are you doing? Huh? Where are you gonna go? Hi, my name is Nessa. I'm a punk. Can you purr? Oh, now you stop purring? Thanks. Where are you going? No. Go there. But as far as, like, necessary for daily life, why do you need 4 different ways to wash your hands? One would be plenty. No. Thank you. Your brother's not allowed up here. You're not either. Like, why do you need a disposable single-use mascara wand? I get that you might want to touch up your mascara. Just take your mascara with you. They're not that big. Get the travel size of your mascara. Unless you have, like, for some reason, one of those really obnoxious giant mascaras. Like, what are you doing? I don't even know what that was.
Where do we even begin? Let's start here. This is so much stuff.
Don't get me wrong. That was very pleasing to watch. The little organizer gremlin inside of me is like, yes. But the reality is, how much did all that stuff cost? This is another video that's, like, perfect for illustrating her argument that, like, you might feel inadequate now. Well, my purse is never that organized. Oh God, I wish I could organize my purse like that. You don't need any of that. And you shouldn't think that that's that person's reality, because I guarantee that purse doesn't stay that organized past the first time they have to go digging for their chapstick.
So much stuff, so many belongings, so many physical little tangible items for extremely specific purposes. If you didn't catch all of them, some examples of this are like this little doohickey where you squirt liquid onto a dry towelette and then it creates like your own wet wipe, this little floss pick dispenser, this little thing that might be a blotting paper dispenser, an earbud cleaning kit, these dissolvable hand soap things. I mean, truly, I had to watch this video several times to figure out what all the little gadgets are. I had never seen anything like those in my life. I did not know things like that existed. This is consumer.
But now I do, and now I want them. That's kind of the point, though. Now you know it exists. She's got a link. You could go have one.
To an unmatched level. Every single thing that she featured in this video is a nice to have, but not a need to have. And what sets this creator apart from a lot of the other ones I've seen is that she posts a lot of these videos with these very obscure, frivolous, niche type products that she does really well with, because people are like, wait a minute, what is that? Where did you get that? I've never seen anything like it. Can I have the link? That's her whole business. She is in the business of being extra. And you know what? I love that for her. She also does a lot of content that's like, clean my hotel room with me before I move.
All right, to be fair, story time. When I used to do field work, you live out of a hotel room, right? And they don't exactly put us in the nicest of hotel rooms. They put us in the cheapest they can find. Not the bare bottom ones. We get luckier than that, but not great hotels. So I did work with a lot of people that carried their own cleaning stuff, and they would clean the surfaces of their apartments. Well, yeah, basically. Of their hotel rooms before they would use them. Like, a lot of the people I traveled with would bring their own sheets and their own pillows because they didn't want to risk getting lice or bed bugs. I don't know how successful it was, but it worked for them, right? And I had a lot of people that would clean their bathtub before they would take a shower or anything in it because they weren't sure. They just didn't trust the hotel to have a clean room for them. I never had any issues, to be honest, but there was one place I stayed. I went and got bleach, and I bleached my bathroom down because it was gross. But yeah, I understand why all of my coworkers did what they did, and there was a reason for it. This looks like a really nice hotel room. Like, why are you cleaning this hotel room? This hotel room's fine. And I bet if they found out that you were doing this, they'd probably be a little pissed. It is nowhere near time for you guys to have any kind of food object. So, I mean, I appreciate that you love me and you want my attention, but quit.
Into it, where she brings an entire set of these travel-friendly cleaning gadgets with her, and she deep cleans her whole hotel room, and people are in the comments like, you are so extra, this is so ridiculous. But her voiceovers to it are like, you know what, it is extra, it is ridiculous, but I love doing it for me, so it's not hurting anybody. I like to be this extra, and that's fine. You do you, I'll do me. So you know,
I mean, if it makes you feel better and you sleep better at night, go for it.
but more power to her. It seems like she genuinely enjoys being this clean, organized, meticulous type person. And it's almost like a hobby of hers to collect these convenience type items. And if it genuinely brings her joy, that's great. But what I'm saying is that it strikes me as extremely extra and extremely wasteful. So many types of things that she's promoting that are single use that aren't really necessary, but they're really cute and it makes for good content. I think we should be careful to not let these videos make us feel like we don't have enough. Because I know for me personally, I could watch this video and I would start to fall into a trap of like, man, I wish I had a new Gucci purse that I could fill with all these cute little things. How fun. I want that too. And I could
If the thing you took away from the purse packing video was, man, I wish I had a Gucci purse, I think her video missed the mark, because the Gucci purse was a flex. That was wealth flexing. That was wealth signaling. I don't know too much about Gucci. I know it's like a higher end brand, but that's all I know about Gucci. The point of that video was all of the little gizmos and gadgets and the little containers that she could stick in her purse. And that's what she was selling you, that she wasn't selling. I mean, maybe she had a link to the Gucci purse. Maybe, I guess. If that were true, then yeah. But that video wasn't about the Gucci purse. It was about all the crap that went into the Gucci purse. Same thing with this cleaning video. It's not about the hotel. Actually, if I were watching videos of people deep cleaning a hotel room, that would make me question if I should go to that hotel, right? I mean, yeah, it probably has more to do with the person staying in the room than the actual hotel, but my initial reaction is, why are you cleaning the hotel? What did you see that made you decide that you need to deep clean your room? You know? So as the hotel, I would not want that kind of stuff out there. But I don't feel inadequate. But again, I don't base my value on objects either. And there are some people that do. And some people do fall for this. I think those people are very few and far between, though. I would like to think those people are very few and far between. I would like to give people the benefit of the doubt here. And then I think about Stanley Cups. And I don't mean hockey.
could start to feel down on myself that I don't own these things or that I can't afford these things, but that's okay because I have everything I need and that's what matters. One of the comments on this reel that I just loved says, watching your videos makes me realize how little I have, yet I'm still so content with what I have. That's a blessing. I love that so much. And I think that is exactly what we should be taking.
And something else that you need to see about this, there's 3,559 likes on this comment, which tells you that many people agreed with it, right? It's also not the point of the video. The creator did not create that video to make people feel inadequate. That creator made that video to sell those products. And that brings us back to the dark anthropology principle of integration versus differentiation. And we talked about this in the last video. The intent of the video is different than the audience's reaction to it, right? So the intent of the video was to show you all these cool little gizmo gazos and look what you could stuff into your purse. Look, all of this stuff fit into the purse. That was kind of the end result there. Like, that purse wasn't very big. And yet, all of that stuff fit in there. I didn't see her put a phone in there, though. So where does your phone go? But that's kind of the point. What this person took away from that video was, look at all this stuff you have, and I don't have all that stuff, and I don't feel inadequate for not having that stuff. Well, I mean, cool. That wasn't the point of the video, though, was it? The point of the video was, if you saw something there that you liked, you would go buy it. Not, oh, you're so inadequate, you're so lesser than me. I mean, maybe that's what the Gucci purse was at the end, but let's look at it this way. That creator has been able to afford a Gucci purse based off of those TikToks. These are TikToks that she's going over. So, TikTok has morphed into something very frightening. Anyway. But yeah, that's the principle of integration versus differentiation. I don't think these videos are meant to make people feel inadequate. But as Hannah is saying, the possibility is that some people are watching it and do feel inadequate, and that is not the intent of the video.
Away from this. Again, enjoy the content responsibly. Being extra is literally this woman's job, and what she's portraying is a fantasy, something that she wants you to aspire to so that you will purchase the product she's promoting.
From the sounds of it, though, that's not true. This woman's life is this woman's life. It looks like she does like to deep clean her hotel rooms when she stays in them, and she does like to pack her purse. That is her everyday. Is it a sustainable average life? No. Is that what makes it the fantasy? Probably. It would be a fantasy for most other people. I still say, I don't care how neatly she packed that purse. The first time she goes in there to find her chapstick, that whole thing's going to either have to come out so she can find the container that has the chapstick in it, or it's just going to become a minefield of loose objects.
That's how she makes money at her job. So on one hand, we can't fault her for doing her job, but we should also be vigilant with how we consume this content and how we allow it to make us feel. Two other things about this one that I want to briefly mention before we move on is, number one, she basically went shopping in her own household.
Yeah, that was weird. Lots of single-use items. So again, this is an excellent argument for consumerism, because there's almost everything she had was like a single-use kind of a thing, or it was something that created a single-use object, like the little towelette moistener, sure, we'll go with that, or the blotting paper doodad, or the little container that was just for the flossers. Those were creating single-use objects, right? So again, very consumeristic, very object-driven, right?
Stocking her purse with items that she pulled out of her own collection, like one eyelash wand from my eyelash wand drawer, a couple wipes from my wipe drawer, a hand sanitizer from my hand sanitizer drawer. And this is where I start to consider the real estate that these things are taking up within her house. That is so much storage space being taken up by little gadgets. Because now that you own these items, you're going to have to store these items somewhere. And that alone stresses me out.
And she probably has videos somewhere of her restocking those drawers. So it kind of is content that creates content, right? She stocks her purse, and so that depletes the drawers, and so eventually she has to restock the drawers. And she's making a video each and every time, right? So it's a gift that keeps on giving for this creator. But again, they have dedicated space to all of these objects. Now, arguably, these are the tools of this person's trade. This person is making money doing these things, but at some point, they need to be consuming or using these objects, or they're just throwing them away, right? Which, that would be very wasteful, and that's where the consumerism comes in. Like, it's more about consumption than it is about the quality of the objects, right?
I'm the declutter queen. I cannot stand excess stuff laying around.
Girl, same.
I feel like it clutters my mind. It's distracting. It exhausts me to have to look at it and have to find a place for it. This kind of lifestyle is not for me. Great for her, not for me. And the second little thing I wanted to mention is that I just have to wonder if these influencers actually use all of the niche products they promote. Because to me, it seems like a hassle and a bother to go dig out these little specific products from your collection when there's easier, simpler ways to achieve the same result. What's coming to mind from this reel is, why do we need a wet wipe dispenser and individually wrapped wipes and hand sanitizer and dissolvable hand soap when you could...
Okay. I didn't realize she hit on the same notes that I did, but yeah, why are you doing that?
Just go to the sink and wash your hands. I understand that she's packing her purse, so these things are meant for on-the-go travel convenience, but still, a $2 mini bottle of Purell is gonna do the same thing, you know? This is gross overconsumption to an outstanding degree. Moral of the story is that the things that are being pitched to us are modern conveniences that might be nice to have, but I urge you to think about the cost, the clutter, and the waste it's creating. Remember that you have lived your whole life without a little device to clean your earbuds and a little device to make a wet wipe, and somehow you've survived. It's okay to...
But have I lived? Have I really lived without a device to make an instant wet wipe?
Look at this and say, wow, that's cool, I've never seen that before, and then scroll on and not feel pressured to purchase it and to not let it make you feel bad about what you lack. Here's one last video just to drive this whole thing home. This is somebody restocking their junk drawer. And before I even show it to you, I think it's important to point out that a junk drawer is not something you restock. It's junk. It's the junk drawer. This is where all your random odds and ends go to die.
Yeah, I got really confused the first time I watched this. And she's like, this person's restocking their junk drawer. And I'm like, so they're walking around their house and picking up all the random crap that they don't have a home for and throwing it in the drawer? Why are we watching that again? Like, I refuse to have a junk... I refuse to have a junk drawer, which means I have a lot of random junk laying around. And my theory is, if it has to go in the junk drawer, it either is actually junk and needs to be thrown away, or you need to find a home for it, right? That's my theory on the junk drawer. I grew up with them. They drove me nuts. They're great little time capsules, though. When you go into other people's houses and go through their junk drawers, they're great little time capsules of a household.
That's what's so hilarious to me, because this video is probably one of the least relatable pieces of content you can
Right?
create.
And that right there tells you that this video that we're getting ready to watch is staged, right? Nobody organizes their junk drawer. Okay, maybe some people do, but the majority of people, if they have one, don't organize their junk drawer, right? That's completely against the whole principle of a junk drawer, right? So that right there, it's kind of like your friend is coming to visit and they'll only use vegan products, so you have to completely stock your bathroom with vegan products. No, you don't. That's weird. No one does that. So this is the same kind of situation. This is a hypothetical situation. It's also completely unrelatable because, like, literally the point of a junk drawer is it's full of junk, not useful things. Junk.
I understand maybe putting in some little plastic organizers or bins to give some order to the chaos, but literally nobody on the planet is restocking their junk drawer with more junk. That's just not a thing. So here's the video.
This is the same person. This is the same person that did the bathroom. These are probably the same containers. If this person was really smart, these are exactly the same containers. And they're just like creating situations, emptying out things, and using the same containers over and over and over again. That's genius. Why? Unless that thing was charging those batteries, why? They really like those Tide pens, by the way. Why do you need an alcohol prep pad? I should not. I'm losing the plot. Hang on. Keep going. Deodorant. Okay.
Yeah, so I'd call this more of a utility drawer than a junk drawer.
Yes.
But even still, look at how many travel-sized and single-use products are being featured here. So many individually wrapped wipes, travel tissues, travel toilet paper, travel stain remover, and disinfecting
Why do you need travel toilet paper?
spray and deodorant wipes. Like, you're at
Like, why do you need it in the house? I get why you would want to travel with it, hence the name, but why do you have it in the house?
home. Why do you need all this travel size stuff? Incredibly wasteful, expensive, and unnecessary. Presumably, there's a spot in your home where you keep all of your full-size cleaning products, so why do you need to fill a drawer in a different room of your house with all of the mini versions?
The only thing I will say is those Tide things are meant for, like, spills and stuff, so I guess there's your argument. Stallmates? These are butt wipes. Oh, look, wipes for your pits and your lady bits. She even tells you what they're for, what they are here down here. Deodorant wipes. Wipes for your pits and your lady bits. Why do you have this in your junk drawer, your utility drawer? Like, why wouldn't you keep these in the bathroom, right? Like, that's weird. Anyway.
Or dedicated to stuff like this. I also don't see the purpose of it, so I wouldn't make room for it either. Also, this battery organizer looks super satisfying, right? People are going crazy for this in the comments, asking for the link to it, and it looks so great and orderly in this reel until you go and buy yourself a value pack of batteries at Costco or something, and there's not enough slots in this battery organizer to keep all of them, so you fill it up and then you have this back stock again, just like we saw earlier with the fridge organization. So now you're gonna have to find a spot for that too. It's just not practical. It's almost like you would need an actual junk drawer to fit all the excess stuff that didn't fit into your Instagram junk drawer. If there was one clip to prove to me how unrealistic these restocks are and how they're all for social media, this would be the one. But at the end
Okay, so these are actually coming off of Instagram, which makes it even more interesting.
Of the day, I guess it doesn't really matter if it's realistic or not, because the primary goal is not to organize your fridge, your bathroom drawer, your junk drawer. The main goal is to showcase a variety of interesting products that catch people's attention and display them in such a way that makes the viewer feel like they need those products in order to improve their life in some way. I truly could go on forever and ever showing you examples of these restock influencers, but here's the point. Here's what I want you to take away. You can still be fulfilled and happy and worthy and important and successful in life, even if you don't have a drawer in your freezer for fancy ice. Even if your produce isn't perfectly curated and labeled. Even if you don't pay hundreds of dollars to restock your bathroom drawer for one specific guest. I think this kind of content speaks to how much we value materialistic goods and
Screw that guest.
how much of an importance we place on consumerism and overconsumption to a gluttonous degree. I think it's wasteful and it's bad for the planet. I think it's bad for our finances, and I think it's bad for our mental health. These
I don't necessarily disagree with Hannah on any of this, like, ideas that we don't need all of this stuff to make ourselves feel fulfilled, and it is wasteful, and it is bad for the environment, and it is a drain on your pocketbook if you're somebody who's going to keep this stuff on hand and you're not getting a kickback for it. I personally didn't watch any of this stuff and feel inadequate because I didn't have any of it, or that my junk drawer wasn't that particularly organized. So maybe the argument of these videos are creating a fantasy reality that makes me feel inadequate within my own reality. Maybe that argument isn't resonating with me because I don't feel inadequate. I could say it a few more times by watching these particular Instagram reels or TikToks. But I guess there could be somebody out there who's watching these and does, I suppose. I think a better set of videos to kind of drive home the point that these are fantasy situations and that this isn't what real life looks like. I think better videos for these kind of things would have been things like, well, like beauty gurus going and buying their Stanley Cups. Things that you really... Things that are really viewed as being like status symbols. People don't usually feel inadequate because they don't have Kleenex in their purse, right? They feel inadequate because they don't have whatever the current in item is. And I keep going back to the Stanley Cups because it's the most relatable, the most memorable one recently. But I mean, like, Starbucks cups used to be a big thing and everybody wanted to carry those around. Certain types of clothing are usually seen as being status items, and so people do feel inadequate because they don't have those kind of things, like an Apple Watch. Some people view the Apple Watch as a virtue signaling on top of being a status symbol, right? And so there are people that do feel inadequate because they don't have an Apple Watch, right? I think those kind of videos would have been a better way of expressing the point of, you know, this isn't necessarily reality, because not everybody has an Apple Watch, and you certainly don't need an Apple Watch at all for any reason, really. You know, Fitbits were real popular for a while. You don't need a Fitbit. The Fitbits allow you to do things that you could do in any number of ways. People were staying fit before Fitbits existed, right? Pedometers. But even then, you don't really need a pedometer, do you? It's that kind of stuff. I feel like videos of people having excessive wealth displays would have been better for the argument here, because really, these videos that she's shown us so far have just been a lot of junk. And that argument that this is just junk. None of this stuff is necessary for life. It's all doodads and gewgaws and just junk, right? Maybe the organizational ones could live up to that, because I know some people do feel, especially women, when you look around a household and the house is a mess, women do feel inadequate because, you know, it's still a stereotype, and it's still kind of driven home in women that you are the one in charge of keeping the house. Even when you're not, I know there's been lots of times where I've been like, no one comes to this house until this house is clean. And it does kind of drive my partner crazy because he's much more comfortable with a different level of disorganization than I am. And I'm like, no one comes in this house until this house is spotless. But I'm from the Midwest. So if the house looks like someone's living there, it's too messy. There's a great little gag about that on the online. But still, it's that level of thing. That refrigerator is not only unachievable, it's unusable once it's at that level, right? That's an unusable object. You have taken a functional fridge and made it non-functional now, right? But if I were one of these people that's like, my house must be organized in all ways at all times, and then I see that fridge, I might be like, yes, that is the perfect solution to my problem. And I might be driven to go out and try to recreate that in my fridge. Right now, I'm just kind of like, maybe I need an egg organizer. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. That's kind of where I'm at with my fridge. But I'm almost positive there's somebody that watched that video and was like, I need all of that. Because I can see people having that level of anxiety over the disorganization, right? The woman packing her purse with all of the gewgaws and the doodads. Maybe there is somebody out there that's like, I need all of that in order to feel complete in life. I suppose that could happen, but I don't see it. I just don't see it as much as I see the organizational stuff. That definitely I could see people having a freak out over, but not having a wet wipe nappy creator, I don't think anybody's feeling inadequate because they don't have that. But anyway.
These types of videos make us normal people feel bad about what we lack, whether that be the money or the time or the resources to live this way too. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's to please remember that this kind of content is not something to strive for or something to compare yourself to. No one actually has time for this, most people don't have money for this, and most people aren't willing to bother with how much time and energy it takes to live this way. Here's
my problem with that particular argument using these videos, is that when she shows the comments of people who are comparing themselves to these videos as far as like, this is a way of life, they're almost always negative-ish comments that are basically like, well, like that one woman, you have so much, all I see is that you have so much more stuff than I do, and I feel blessed to not have all of that stuff. These are people who are not the target audience of those videos. Like, I don't know. I don't think that argument's being supported in this. I don't think her argument there is being supported by the videos she's chosen to use. Does that make sense? I think her argument is valid. I just don't think it's being supported by these videos.
Not real. It's just the influencer's job that they're doing on social media. The creators I've shown you today have hundreds of thousands of followers. Some of them have over 1 million followers.
I think videos that would have been better would be like clothing haul videos, right? I know a lot of women, especially, like, you want to look good. Like makeup hauls would be good. Like, things that are used to make us look better outwardly. I think those would have done a lot better because, like, women and girls do tend to have, society will tell you that women and girls tend to have more issues with their body image than men. I don't necessarily think that's true, but I think men have just as many body issues. They just have different societal pressures for different types of body issues, I guess is where I'm going with that. But even then, I think showing videos of guys working out and the workout gear that those men are using, I see a lot of guys. I mean, how many times have you seen somebody? Well, look, take Anna, for example. Anna decided she was a runner. So the first thing she did was she went out and she bought a lot of workout clothes and she bought a bunch of pairs of running shoes. Does she need them? No. Did she want them? Yes. Did she think having them made her a runner? Yes. Same kind of thing with clothing hauls. You know, these women and their $1,000 clothing hauls, there's a lot of girls and people who are into fashion who watch these things and they're like, man, I wish I could afford XYZ. Oh, my life. Like her and the Gucci purse. The Gucci purse is what she took away, what Hannah took away from the purse stuffing thing. The Gucci purse was a wealth flex, right? So videos displaying other forms of wealth flexing through objects like that would have supported this argument better, I think.
Their influence and their reach is very significant. Literally millions of people are watching their content. And on one hand, I understand that it's their time and it's their money, and if this truly brings them joy to have a lifestyle like this and to make content like this, fine, more power to them. But we have to understand that it's our responsibility as the viewers and consumers to manage our own thoughts and feelings about their content. And I think we need to be self-reflective and assess whether or not consuming this kind of content is good for us in the long run. If you find that it makes you feel bad about yourself, or that you feel envious, or you feel compelled to spend beyond your budget, or if it makes you believe that you need material possessions to be happy in life, I would urge you to reconsider following that creator. Or maybe you could mute their post for a while to see how that makes you feel. Or if this is coming up and the algorithm is just feeding it to you, even though you're not following these people, there is an option to go to the settings of that post and request to not be shown content like that in the future. So you can do that.
Yeah, but that shit doesn't work. Trust me. I have this one on YouTube. I have this one freaking channel that YouTube constantly sends me posts and videos from, and I'm like, every time I see one, I click the little button that says do not send me content from this channel, and every day, every time I open up YouTube, there they are. YouTube wants me to see this person. I don't know if they've paid YouTube off or what, but I do not want to follow their channel in any way, shape, or form now. Now it's a personal vendetta. But anyway. Yeah, but anyway.
That as well. I think a great way to end this video is to shout out a couple of creators that are doing their influencer job really responsibly. If you really enjoy restock and cleaning type content, but you don't want 100 products pushed down your throat with every video, check out Carissa Cleans It All on Instagram. I can have her profile linked below. She's a mom who shares her very realistic looking house with kids, and she does a lot of cleaning and reorganizing and restocking type content in a way that it's organized but not overly curated. Her videos are very relatable. She portrays a lifestyle that seems very attainable to the average family, and you can still get that same feel-good organization motivation without feeling like you have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff to live just like her. She does have some of these clear acrylic storage solutions throughout her house, but she's using them in a really functional way. And a lot of her videos are not like this complete overhaul of going from like a normal looking fridge to a completely curated looking fridge. Instead, it's like clean up my living room the day after Christmas with me, right? And she's just taking care of the possessions that she already owns, which I love. And the second account that I want to recommend is the Barda House on Instagram. I can also link her below. This is not a restocking account, but it is all about decluttering, minimizing, living with less, and taking good care of the possessions you have versus always desiring to accumulate more. I call this a de-influencing account. It's a great account to follow if you want daily motivation on how to live simply with less clutter. She's very much about owning exactly what you need, loving those possessions, using those possessions, and getting rid of the rest, letting it go, right? Living more simply and appreciating what you have. And I'd also love to ask viewers to drop your recommendations in the comments below too, if you know of other creators that are similar to those I just mentioned. And with that, that's everything I have for you for episode 1 of this new influencer series. I'm so excited about this. I think these topics are really fascinating to do a little mini dive into. I hope you found it entertaining as well, and I hope it makes you think critically about what you're consuming when you're scrolling on social media. I have so many other topic ideas for this series and I can't wait to get into those, but let me just tell you this was a really tame video in comparison. I do have the topics kind of mapped out and I intentionally wanted to kind of ease into it with a video like this. This is a fair warning that there's some pretty troublesome, problematic, scandalous topics coming up where I can already tell that my commentary is going to be a lot more fiery and opinionated and passionate. Family vloggers, I'm looking at you, but I feel like we have to work up to that, okay? So we're easing into it slow. And on that note, I guess if you have any topic ideas that you would like for me to consider as part of this series, drop them in the comments below. I can't wait to hear your feedback on today's video, and if you're just here for the anti-MLM stuff, don't worry, it's not going anywhere. The very next video you see will be anti-MLM. It's been really fun to dip my toes into these different topics, so thanks for giving me the space to do that. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next one real soon.
Okay, so I really liked that. Yeah, this is going to be the trad wives. That's going to be interesting to watch. I really like this. I personally enjoy going over this stuff, much like Hannah is saying. This is different content on my channel. I mean, it's adjacent, but not necessarily, it's not girl world related, I guess is my point. But I'm enjoying doing this. I'm going to watch the rest of Hannah's series. This series, what is she calling? Influencer Insanity series. I'm going to keep watching this myself. I would like to do commentary on it. If you guys are enjoying it, it looks like if her videos are like 40 minutes long, like they seem to be, unfortunately, it's going to end up breaking them up, but I might be able to fix that. You guys let me know. You surprised me that you guys like my long form stuff, so maybe you guys like this, maybe you don't. If you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave a musical note down in the comments section, because I honestly can't think of anything else, and that just popped into my head like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So your emoji is a musical note if you like to play the emoji game. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about Hannah's content. Let me know what you think about Hannah's argument. Let me know what you think about my arguments against Hannah's arguments. I'm gonna go take a break now, because clearly I need one. Let me know what you guys think about me doing this kind of content going forward. Again, I would really like to do so, but I don't want to put stuff out there that you guys aren't going to watch, basically, is what I'm saying. And, yeah. If you guys like this, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.